Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Larry Ogunjobi in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now it's Wilson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
You take it right on the 30. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So here are the Browns now with great starting field position. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
First carry now. This is Johnson. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. They've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
They have tried all season long to fix all the things that they need to in the running game, and they have been successful so far. I wonder if this is a time to just sell out. Make sure you have 8 in the box every time and bring a 9th and sometimes even a 10th to try and stop them from running the ball.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On third down, Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. A little careless with the football. And he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did. And when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwan. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey. Oh, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Wilson now to throw on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Only Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive, and also give him a first down.
First play of the drive, a first down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
There may be a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Mayfield to throw it this time. Trying to lay one up deep. It's caught at the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
He's going to get it running right. Flashed a nifty move, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Darkwa. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So an even first quarter on the scoreboard, but the threat of points on the horizon. 0-0 our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sport.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action. Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Josh Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And Hill running right through it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you can...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Wilson. Floating with it over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And into a double team, and it's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Here's Josh Gordon as he heads back out there now. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, that good stuff. You got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that time and change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. Mayfield now on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield looks to throw. He's got his tight end in Njoku. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. 1st down, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, Mayfield. Dancing to his left. And he's got some space here. And avoids the contact by sliding. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Screenplay, Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Hurry up, here we go.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Ramik Wilson coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
They'll run with Derek Brown. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Here's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Set! Green, 39!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Gone! Here we go!
Mayfield on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. At the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
4 down.
Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this, and it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Seth DeValve, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Throwing, Mayfield, firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2nd down, Mayfield. That's Njoku over the middle. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This quarterback now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield down. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The Browns trying to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. Here's Mayfield. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He sets to fire. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where you see the final score there. Carson Wentz leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Next, we take a trip down the coast to Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting New York Giants. 28-3, the final score. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were losers in their ball game as the visiting Buffalo Bills come in and took it to them. Matthew Stafford, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, each team able to manage just 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 is our score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And the first half was not kind to him, and he knows that. 3 interceptions, but still tied, so kind of a clean slate.
I'd say it's a reprieve. Because ordinarily you throw 3 interceptions, your team should be behind. So he has to be thinking to himself, okay, I'm off the hook for that one. I have to play better for my team here in the second half.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He'll buy some time right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Barkevious Mingo in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Emmanuel Agba. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And this one is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Seahawks have recovered.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in a running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now it's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Christian Kirksey coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give them confidence and let him knock it through.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, Johnson. They find some open field here. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield looking middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A good pickup there at 22.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. They go play action here on 1st down. That escapes the sack. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Love the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
On the run, Darquan. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands, having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Darquan. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Wilson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And his kick is indeed good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Leopard! Leopard! Good!
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
He's going to air one out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Browns can grab the lead if they hit the extra point. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that will put them on top here in the third. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. Crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and run down some clock with Johnson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Browns on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 19. Now Mayfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go!
Here's a give to Mixon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Barkevius Mingo in that time on the tackle. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mayfield to throw it. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Josh Gordon with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Gonzalez to add the PAT. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they...
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
I'll tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Come on, let's go. What? None.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. K'Wan Williams, the one that got him down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Browns on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8.
Set. Green, 39.
To throw, Mayfield. He shakes him off. And an alley to run. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run with Mixon. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will extend their lead even further. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Here's Wilson. He's got his man, Boyd. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now Wilson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Baldwin. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st down, Wilson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Here's Wilson to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards. So it's Hawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. Wilson will throw again. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone as a two-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the fourth. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They go to Johnson again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. The busy night continues for Johnson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Cleveland, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.